Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Solutions. And also welcome to Katie MoonChild's world. I'm Katie. Today I'd like to welcome you to oracle card reading that kind of helps us see where we've been the last few bit. That really made a lot of sense. The last amount of time, current amount of time. Where we're going. How to get where we're going. What's blocking us. And finally a message. Just a general message from Spirit. For everybody. Well, of course, this reading is for everybody. I thank you very much for stopping by. If you're new here, welcome. Welcome to my home. This is a place to come for inspiration, calm, and guidance. There's no judgment here. Not on this channel. This channel doesn't read on politics. This channel doesn't read on things that will bring you down. This channel is a channel to help bring you inspiration, hope, peace, and calm. So I welcome you if you are new here. To my subscribers, I thank you for coming back. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy ourselves. This reading is for entertainment purposes only. And, I appreciate you all so very, very much. I can't even really put it into words. So instead of trying to waste the time and putting it into words, let's get this reading started. This deck is the Mystical Shaman deck by Colette Baron Reed. I'm going to find out where our current situation is now. Bit of housekeeping first. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Manasa. Thank you for joining me on this last week on the Lightworkers Roundtable. What a fun conversation. I learned so much from you. Every time I'm around you, I learn so much just from your energy. Thank you, sweet lady, diva of divination. That describes you to a T. You're welcome on my channel anytime, and I look forward to our future collaborations that we're going to be talking about in the future. Thank you, my friend, for being here. Now, let's see what our current situation is and get this reading going. If you have not seen our conversation from Thursday night on Lightworkers Roundtable with Manasa, Tarot Living with Manasa, yes, please, it's there. It's on my channel. It should be in a playlist under Lightworkers Roundtable. It's the most recent one, of course. Okay, what do we got going on? Okay, what is happening here? What do we get? The Blade. Oh, and this is for entertainment purposes, as always. We're here for fun. Okay. The Blade. Let me pull this up just a smidge. There we go. So I can see it. You can see it. The Blade. Number 6. Harmony, cooperation, and healing. Yeah, it kind of felt like things were started down that road this week. At least government-wise. Seems to be that slow-moving wheel is actually beginning to turn. So some of us, that cuts through us like a knife. We're reminded of the pain that we just went through. As we're trying to heal it by blocking it out, you can't heal by blocking. And you can't heal it by cutting it out either. There is no quick process to healing. You have to work through it. That's the big illumination here to this blade. We want quick resolve. We want quick answers. But if everything happened as quick as we want it to, we would not be able to catch our breath in between, to even begin to process and absorb the things that we're supposed to be learning from what is happening right now. And what is happening right now is as huge as the last ice age, folks. People just don't want to see it. They're too busy being all caught up in their politics and their what almost happened and what could happen because of what almost happened. Let's be afraid of our fears, because our fears are really scary, because, you know, when you have fears, you're scared. Are you in control when you're scared? When you reach for a weapon like a blade or a gun or a stick, a rock, when you reach for a weapon of any kind, even if it's a weapon of your mind, be very, very careful before you draw it. Because if you draw it, you know the odds are you're going to use it. So this is also a card saying be careful of your thoughts. Be careful of your anger. Be careful of your reactions. That's really it. Be careful of your reactions. We were talking with Manasa on Thursday, talking about the difference between action and reaction. Someone says something to you that sets your temper off just like that, and you react. You punch them in the face, or you tell them off, or you walk away. I'm not saying which of those are right or wrong or what you should or shouldn't do. I'm just saying you don't stop and breathe and think about it. You just do it. It's just like, you called me a what? And you pop them in the mouth. And some people don't do anything, and they let that build up and build up and build up and build up. And then when it releases very violently in some people. The whole idea of keeping the people afraid of what might happen, because you know there's a possibility this other thing over here could happen. Just stop and think about that. Does that make sense to you? That's like saying, ooh, don't look at that cloud, because you know what? It's white, and tomorrow rain might fall out of it, so don't look at it. Don't look at it. Makes no sense to me. I don't know about you. But that's where we are at, where we are. It's like, I don't want to look at it. I'm not going to look at it. But it's so bad and so illuminated, it's slapping you in the face. There's a message there. There's a message there. Quit trying to hide it or hide from it. Face it. It's your fear. It's in your head, nowhere else. Is it a logical fear? Or is it a fear of a fear of a fear of a fear? Or a fear of an unknown? Oh, we've had that discussion. information already on this channel many, many times. Now, Katie, quit preaching. Let's find out where we want to be. Where do we want to be? I know. The biggest thing that cuts through me like a knife is other people judging me. It's the quickest thing to make me not be my authentic self, to back down on my boundaries, to yeah. I don't like offending other people. I don't like hurting other people. Funny, they don't seem to mind doing that to me, but that's okay. That's them and their perspective, their path, not me, my perspective and my path. I'm the one that has to live my life. They don't. Thank God and the universe and all the masters, I don't have to live their life. Agree with me, folks? I don't have to live anybody else's life but mine, because whoo-wee, I couldn't even start to know how to do somebody else's life. Mine's hard enough, thanks. Not like I'm complaining that my life is hard. I'm just saying it has enough lessons in it for me. I don't need to do somebody else's lessons, too. And there's a message in that as well, about gossiping and talking about other people. You're applying your path to their life. Is that fair? Would you want them to do that to you? Apply their path to your life and tell you what to do? Not this girl. So, where do we want to be? That's a card of completion. Number 10. End of a cycle. We want this cycle to be over with. It's exhausting, isn't it? And to do that, we have to take a deep dive into it. And that's the thing that's holding us back. Whew. Also, turn the deck over and look at the card that I got. That was on the bottom of the deck. Number 5. Change. Closing the door. Completion. Diving into the task until it's completed. Because this is where we're at. We're at the crossroads right now. We're at a crossroads, that's for sure. Make some room for some cards here. There, now you can see them. Wow. We want to close the door on all of this. We want it over with, and we want to move on. But we can't get from where the pain is, that cutting blade pain. We can't get from there to here without going through here. And that means you got to face it. We got to face it head on. To face it head on instead of facing it head on with your armor and your swords, which is what I normally do. This card is telling us to dive inside to fight this. Dive really deep inside. This is our most important task. Making sure that everyone around you is safe, secure, and has food in their stomach. That's the task. That's the task at hand. It's not, ideologies. It's not religions. Not beliefs. It is as simple as making sure that everyone around you has clothes to wear, shelter over their head, and food in their belly. And I don't mean just a cardboard box for shelter over their head. I mean true shelter. One where you can turn on a light, even if that's an oil lamp. Depending on your culture, where you are. That's what we're wanting. We're all the same. No matter what country you live in, we are all the same, especially us working folk. You know, we just want to kind of have a life a little bit easier because our day-to-day is so hard every single day. But, you know, I think for most of us, we don't look at it as that way because it is such an automatic put in front of the other, go for the task. Sometimes we dive very deep into tasks and sometimes we don't. This shift that's coming, shift is here, is a cycle completion, a turning completion, an 80-year turning. Is that it's the end of its final 20 years. And after that, the door closes on all this nightmare. And we start fresh with new ideas, a new renaissance. So hang in there, you guys. We want this door closed. And it's coming. It's here. It is here. It just seems like it's excruciatingly slow. Universe has not got the same concept of time. It has no concept of time. So everything happens in the timing it's supposed to happen, not when we want it to. So my map. Oh, and that was the Shamanic Dreams Oracle deck. Let's see what our map is to make it easier for us to get away from the anger and the fight or flight mode. Hell, that's what the blade says to me. We have to get out of fight or flight. Cooperate now. It's cooperation that we need now. Not about me. How do I survive? It's about us as a collective, as a whole, as the big picture, as a planet. Not just as countries. Countries with boundaries that are invisible. So certain leaders who are insecure think they've got to build walls and fences and crap like that. So that then that boundary is my boundary. Is visible. You know what? There's only really one wall that's visible like that from outer space. And that's the Great Wall of China. So, you going to put one of those on our border? Or on all borders? I mean, this is not a game of Risk. This is people's lives you're playing with here. And these people's lives were not put on this earth just for your benefit and your entertainment. Sorry. I digress. We need a roadmap. So that makes it easier for us to get from that frame of mind I was just in into diving into the task, the deep flow of the task of closing the door on this and getting completion. More. Slow and steady. I saw that card yesterday. And I've been hearing it ever since. I keep hearing, slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Keep your eye on the prize. We want to get where we can close this door. You just keep moving forward. No matter how hard it gets, keep focused on the fact. We have a task. We've got a job to do. We have to bring this into completion so that we can move on. And there's a lot of dirt that's coming out, and it's going to come out more and more and more. Slowly and steadily, it's going to be coming out. Just keep moving forward. You know, these big disappointments that we have and stuff, they're set that way to keep you thrown off. To keep you holding back and not moving on and taking that next step. Because if you take that next step is out of their control. And I'll let you figure out who they are. The powers that rule us. Apparently we have some chakra issues. I would definitely say we have chakra issues. It's interesting. Every other card, till we get to the slow and steady card, look how they're kind of dark today. Kind of dark. And I'm so glad this is Saturday. It's been a really full week. Fun week, successful week, prosperous week, really full. Okay, what chakra do we have that's blocked, please? Oh, I got 2. I have 2 of them. And this is from the Kaleidodope Swatches of Chakra deck by Crystal Banner. I don't know why I never remember her name. This is the card deck. First card we get is our heart chakra. Come from a center of love, you guys. And the second one, let's go ahead and read up on. Oh, wow. Okay. I just saw what the second one is. The heart chakra. Let's just go ahead and we'll cover that one first. Of course, that's the place of love, peace, forgiveness, unity, compassion, and trust. That's our center for that. When it's balanced, you love yourself and you're loving. You're just open and gushing. You're forgiving. You have empathy. You recognize beauty for what it is. You're hopeful. And you feel connected. You feel connected to that caterpillar, that butterfly, that ant. And yeah, that neighbor who gets angry with you for blinking. But when it's out of balance, you don't give a shit. Sorry. You don't give a blank about that neighbor who's angry with you for whatever. Because you don't care about whatever it is they're angry with you for. It's probably why they're angry with you. You're full of apathy. And you have a tendency to walk away instead of forgiving people and accepting them for who they are. You just say, I don't feel like dealing with you. See ya. Talk to the hand. And because you're that way, you're not committed. So you kind of like that flag flapping out there in the wind. Which direction do I fly? Am I a north flag, south flag, east flag, east flag, or west flag? What direction do I turn? What direction do I stand for? You're detached. and you feel hopeless. Yeah, a lot of stuff come out this week, and I was feeling pretty hopeless. You know, I had all the newness for weeks in my garden, for instance, of all the new growth and the new pretty flowers coming out and blooming. And now that it's turned warmer and it's turned more like summer, I have the pests. I have the spider mites and the leaf miners and the caterpillars. I don't mind the caterpillars, although they do devastate my shrubs. It's all a part of the cycle, because if they didn't use the plants, if the bugs didn't use the plants as a part of their life cycle, just stop and think about how much you walk through a forest, and go through a forest in an area where the trees are really close, and see how soft that ground is strictly by years and years and years of piled up pine needles. Especially in a ponderosa pine forest, you will see that. The needles tend to pile up next to the tree trunks, and that very action protects the tree. If there's a wildfire, the fire will burn the pine needles, but it doesn't burn the tree trunk. It acts as an insulation. So you might feel hopeless because things seem so hard, but that's because you're not seeing, there's a hack for this. Look for the hack. Look for the way around it. The stones that help this. Hey, it's appropriate with the heart. Of course, rose quartz, pink tourmaline, rubies, chrysoprase. I don't have any of those three out here. It's back behind there. I have an aventurine, malachite, green fluorite, which is the green part of this. This is a rainbow fluorite, but green fluorite's the green part. All of those will help with your heart chakra. I'll tell you a little story about that I was taught years ago by a therapist. Yes, psychological psychotherapist. She taught me that to section off your heart for now, because at that time I was getting hurt very easily and basically suicidal. And she taught me that to keep yourself from feeling that hurt, your heart has walls around it. And at a certain point in each wall, the walls are layers. And at a certain point in each one of those walls is a gate and a gatekeeper. And you tell that gatekeeper what you will allow to go into that gate, past that gate, as far as emotions or actions or that kind of thing. That way, into your very heart center where you get hurt so easily, you can shield that. I am telling you, now has come a time when those walls and those gates have to come down, and the gatekeepers have to join together in a union of all of those things that hurt you to heal you, so that you can come back out of this with an open heart, a fully open heart. When your heart is open and you send complete love, you get complete love. Keep that in mind as you go through your week this week and you get angry as you're driving down the road. You want somebody to honk at you, honk at them. You want somebody, yell at somebody. Is that going to help you? Is that going to help them? No. Serves no purpose. Serves no purpose. Count your blessings and mind your own business and just keep going forward. Now the second card I got. So we've got 2 chakras, which is not too unusual. Okay? When one chakra is blocked, it affects another. And it isn't the chakra right next to it. Here's the other one we got. Crown chakra, you guys. Are you listening to your connection to the divine? Or have you even been working on your connection and consciousness with the divine? Have you been consulting the divine in your fears? Or have you been relying on other outside sources, human beings, and their systems to give you your answers? This is your energy center for enlightenment, spirituality, consciousness, presence, and connection to the divine. And I find it interesting that this is the card that pops up to go with this card. Not the green. The green in this showed a lot, but I picked up more green from this card. There's no purple in this card at all, but the slow and steady message fits divine consciousness. Because divine consciousness is always there. Whether you're plugged into it or not is another story. And if your chakra, your crown chakra is blocked, you can't connect to divine consciousness. It's trying to get through. Because when you're, that's your center for enlightenment, you know? Connection to the divine. So when it's balanced, you're filled with gratitude for everything in your life, even your struggles. As Charlie Chaplin said, everything in life is temporary, even our struggles. You're open to anything that's unexplainable. ETs, infrasound, cloaking, ghosts, all that paranormal, cryptozoology, all that stuff. You're open to that, you know? You have a strong spiritual connection, and that's why you're open to that. You see things that other people don't see and don't want to see, because their mind is closed. You have an understanding in living the soul's truth, your awareness of your higher source, and you find your answers from within. Now, this is when the crown chakra is humming and buzzing on the top of your head. And the thing you're doing best when your crown chakra is balanced and humming and buzzing like it's supposed to is you're living in the moment. I'm sitting here looking out my window, and there's a caterpillar devouring almost a whole branch on one of my shrubs out here. And it's working so hard. And it's going to leave the branch looking really ugly. But it makes a beautiful swallowtail butterfly when it's done. I'll sacrifice that whole shrub for those swallowtail butterflies because they're so beautiful. And because I know that their process of transformation is much easier, I think. Or it's easier, much harder, I think, than ours is. Because we don't change our body completely. And they go from a solid substance, somewhat solid, gooey substance, to completely liquid, to a completely different life form. Yeah, it's carbon-based, but it's not full of goo. It has an exoskeleton. It has fine, delicate, long legs. And most of all, that goo turns into that beautiful wings. And it all happens automatically with divine consciousness. You don't think that that butterfly, the caterpillar, is thinking about what's going to happen to it as it's making its cocoon and shutting itself off from the rest of the world for a while. When you're out of balance, when your crown chakra is out of balance, you're living in the past. Forgive me, but you're ignorant. You have a fear of death and or the unknown. You are directionless. You're overly skeptical. You're disconnected from your true self. So that's why you're overly skeptical. You don't know what to believe. So you have self-limiting thoughts. So all of a sudden, anytime you have that feeling of I am not worthy, you better check your crown chakra. Because you are worthy. The crystals that work with this, anyone can get your hands on. I have them all over this table. Clear quartz crystals. This could be scrubbed, but why? It's the way I found it. Selenite. It's back here behind these cards. Selenite. Auralite 23. And rhodonite. Carry one of those with you. Clear quartz is probably the easiest one on that list to find. You can probably find that in your driveway. Put that in your pocket. Carry it with you. And your affirmations that you need to tell yourself is, I am open to divine wisdom. I live in the present moment. I am one with the universe and I accept divine guidance in my journey. I cherish my spirit. And the affirmations that go with your heart chakra. I'm open to love. I forgive myself. I am wanted and I am loved. I am connected and I love myself. I have an open heart that I share freely. I added that one in there because that's an affirmation I use all the time. Wow. Powerful. Let's see what our message from Spirit is today. Lately, these readings have been very, very interesting. I'm going to use the Angels and Ancestors deck. Only because the last few weeks, it's really had powerful messages. And I noticed other readers using it too a lot for like this last couple weeks. I can keep from throwing them all over the place. They're jumpy today. Message for us, please, Spirit. What do you want us to know today? I'm just being quiet for a minute while I'm taking in that card. You have the tree of life behind the dove. And the great teacher learned from spiritual experiences. You know, those weird things that happen that you can't explain. Learn from it. It's sent to be profound for a reason. And if you're newly awakening and you're confused because of religion, this card is telling you Allah, Jesus, Buddha, all of the masters, all of them, Krishna, they're masters. They're not gods. They are enlightened masters. Who existed strictly to help us learn from our spiritual experiences, to help us decipher the meaning of our spiritual experiences. This card is telling me to find the peace within, because the tree of life does not end. It goes on and on and on. As long as there's peace, we have eternity. You may have spiritual abilities awakening that you didn't know you had. Hey, man, you go, what was that? I haven't had that happening to me lately. And, yeah, a few other things that I've seen that I needed to tune up my learning on. So, learn from those spiritual experiences. Quit looking at everything as a success or a failure. Look at it as oh, okay, that way didn't work, so the way I thought it was going to. So how should I change it up? How should I change it up? How can I make it better? Not how can somebody else make it better for me? Who the hell are you? Why haven't you helped me? I helped you so many times. I've helped you move. I've helped you blah, 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 blah. And you don't reciprocate in like kind. You know what, darling? Don't do anything for anyone else unless you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. Because if you're doing it just in case you might need them down the road, or because they have something you need or you want, you need to check your ethics there. You need to check your ethics. Just because you find something to be your truth does not necessarily mean it's someone else's truth. And that came out like I was scolding you. Anyway, I thank you so much. This has been a really good reading. Wow. And to have Jesus pop out at the end. Interesting. He's showing up a lot for me lately. And I'm thankful of that, because of all the Ascended Masters. He's the one that I try to emulate his teachings the most. I am my brother's keeper. And because of that fact, I love you guys. I'm here for you. I mean that. I truly mean that. On that note, I'm going to ask you to be kind to one another, please. Be kind to everything and everyone you see. Watch your thoughts and your mouth. If you have a negative thought because somebody treated you in a way you didn't think you deserved, let it go. It's kind of like road rage. You know, that guy cut you off. Well, at least he didn't hit you. Fuck it. There. Now I used 2 cuss words in this video. I apologize. And I'll try to bleep them out, but no, I won't, because they're appropriate for where they're at. I love you very much. Be kind to one another. But most of all, look deep within and be kind to yourself as you do. The answers are there. They're just waiting for you to release them. I love you. We'll see you next week. And we'll see you on the next Lightworkers Roundtable when my guest will be Renee from Tarot Love Community. We'll see what she does when she's tired from working on the website and being in everybody's chats and, promoting us all when I know she has days where she can't hardly promote her garbage can lid. We all have those days. And we all manage to buck up and be there for you all. So that shows you the amount of love that we have for our viewers, our subscribers, and our chatters. And so anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. And on my live stream, my regular midweek minis, get your questions ready, you guys. Personal questions. It doesn't have to be just one card. I will do a 5-card reading if you want a 5-card reading. It just all depends on the question you ask me and what the cards say, as long as the answers keep coming. So, as my battery begins to fade, I wish you adieu. Have a wonderful weekend, what's left of it, and bless you on this Sunday. See you next week.